all of my crafty friends. I am here today with another hop for 7Kids Crafts. This is a hashtag driven hop, and the hashtag, which will be found in the title and in the description box, is hashtag 7Kids Craft Summer Lovin'. I'm going to be using this stamp set today. There will be a giveaway for the stamp set Making Waves, which will be open to the US only, and it will close on the 13th of June at 11:59. So I'm just showing you a couple of the pieces that I'm using for this card. We're going to do a slimline today, and I will tell you guys a little bit more about the card, about the hop as we get into it. So I have some cardstock from Cricut, from Tonic Studios, and then I have some Bristol Smooth cardstock here. And I've had my Cricut create me a stencil. I wanted some Hawaiian leaves. I wanted some hibiscus to create a stenciled image for this card. So I brought out a rainbow of colors for my Distress Oxides, and I'm going to use that Bristol Smooth cardstock and some of my ink blending tools to create a background. So like I said, this is the 7Kids Craft Summer Lovin' blog YouTube hop. Sorry about that. All of the prizes will be announced on June 17th, and I will have a link to where to go for you to find out if you are a winner, and you will have 1 week after the announcement to claim the prize. I'm telling you guys, I'm really loving these stamp sets from 7Kids Crafts. She continues to knock it out of the park with each one that she's coming up with. So I will make sure I link the store and the Facebook page to this video. So please make sure you stop by and give some love. Make sure you click the hashtag so you can find everyone who's hopping along in the hop today, and so that you can show some love, like, subscribe, and comment so that you'll have a chance at winning one of these fun stamp sets. So as you can see here, I'm just ink blending. I'm going through my rainbow. Started out with some picked raspberry, candied apple, spiced marmalade. I'm doing some squeezed lemonade now, and I went all the way through and ended with my wilted violet. You know, I am that person that is not gonna have a rainbow without my purple. Purple's always getting left out. Not on my rainbow. I had to make sure that my purple got in there. So I'm just going through and I am melding those colors together, just kind of going back through the entire rainbow of colors, and this is what we end up with. Now that I have that all ink blended out, I am going to use this stencil, and I'm just kind of placing it kind of wonky to get a variation. I didn't want it to look completely straight, and I'm going to bring out some Aurora Sparkle Cosmic Glitter Texture Paste. Say that 3 times fast. I'm going to bring out that, and I am going to use it to go all across the background with this stencil. Now, because the stencil that I created was only a 5.5 squared stencil, I am having to be very careful because I don't want to go outside the edges when I'm doing this, and I want to be very careful not to blob this on. So I am just taking very small amounts at a time, and I am going to pull this through, and I'm using a Tonic Studios media spatula with this. I absolutely love it. It is very flexible. And the other reason that I'm using just a little bit of this at a time is because you know that the oxides are water-based, so the color will start to pull up with and mix in with the paste. So I don't want to have any excess. I don't want to waste any of this. I hoard this stuff. I don't know why. Probably because it's glittery and I love it. But I'm just using a very little at a time so I don't cross-contaminate with the colors. So then I moved it over to the other side very carefully and did the same thing so that I could get a full background. And look at this, guys. Like, it's wet, and I'm just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I could have just looked at that all day. So at any rate, I had to run and clean up all of this stuff because you know that stuff gets hard and it will ruin everything. So go with some hot water and clean it off really quickly. And then we are going to move on to the stamping. So I have taken out all three of the images that come in the stamp set, the three people images. They are so cute. I love the movement of this stamp. And I stamped that out twice using some Gina K amalgam ink, and then we are going to move on, and I am going to show you guys the Copic coloring just for this one image. I didn't want to make the video too extremely long, so I didn't leave in all of the coloring. So, like I said, I am going to make sure that I link the store and the Facebook page for 7 Kids Crafts in the description box below. You guys, please make sure you go over and see what she has to offer. It's an amazing shop, and she doesn't just sell the 7 Kids Craft stamp sets. She has a lot of different things in her shop, so please support our small businesses. So again, the winner will be drawn on the 17th, and you will have 1 week to claim your prize. I will link in the description box where to go for the prize announcement. This is open to the US only, so please, in your comment, please indicate that you are from the US. You have until June 13th at 11:59 p.m. to comment on the videos. Again, this is a hashtag hop. It is hashtag 7 Kids Craft Summer Lovin', and I will have that in the description box as well as in the title. Just click on it, and that will bring up a list of every person who's hopping today, and I am sure you will not be disappointed in some of the amazing things that you're going to see today. I know I will be hopping. So I'm going in and doing her skin tones and coloring that in. I did use the exact same skin tones for everyone in the image. I did use some different hair colors, just 2 different hair colors. So I used this color twice, and then I used a browner tone for the young man in the kit, in the stamp set. And so for her, she has some kind of wavy hair, so I'm trying to go with the curves of the hair in order to provide some movement. And you guys know that we are practicing our Copic coloring together and just kind of doing some flicking. Whenever I do hair, I do start with my darkest color because I do not want to blend out too much. And one of the things that I try to remember, especially when I'm doing wavy hair, is that our lightest color will be at our heels and our darkest color will be at our valleys. That's kind of what I think of when I am doing wavy hair. When the wave is at the top, that's where the light should hit the most, and so that is what I am attempting to achieve here, and hopefully you guys can see the way that I'm doing that. Now, around her neckline and where her face is covering her hair, those areas would be darker because there will be a cast shadow, as well as where her back is and where the flower is covering her hair. So we've got that part done. And of course, you guys know that I am bringing in my 2 favorite color combinations, that turquoise color as well as my purple color, to color in my flowers, their leis, and their tops. Her top doesn't show too much, and the lei is pretty small, so I just did a little dotting detail to try to show some color variations in it. It wasn't a whole lot. That part of the image is not huge, but overall, this image is a pretty decent size. I thought that this stamp set, as well as the couple of sentiments that came in it, were really, really awesome. Now, you guys saw that I had the Cricut cut out the thanks for me for the front sentiment, just because the 2 sentiments that came in the stamp set, I wanted to use those on the inside. But we'll get to that in just a few minutes. So now that we have our BG combination completed, I'm going to move on to a green color combination in order to do all of the grass around her arms, her ankles, and her little hula skirt. I thought these images were so super cute, and because they are pretty small images, or on the smaller side, especially like the little grass pieces around her arms and her legs, after I did a wipe with my lightest color, I went straight in with my darkest color, so I didn't build up and then come back down, just because I didn't want to have any opportunities for bleeding. So I went ahead and colored everything up and had my scan and cut them out. They were cut out so perfectly, and I was happy. Now I'm going to bring in my inside card panel, and I'm going to take all of those other images. I'm going to take the little pineapple and the little tiki and the leaves. I'm going to take it all, and on the inside I'm going to create yet another little piece of background paper. So what I decided that I was going to do with this one was I was going to take a lot of the different colors. I didn't use every color. I'm going to take a lot of the different colors that I used for the ink blending, and I'm going to create a colorful inside panel. Now, I used some temporary glue dots to adhere the card panel to the inside of my Misty. That is what's keeping that keeping my paper together. So now I am going to just keep moving through. I started out with my purple because you guys know that the purple and the blues have to be there. So purple and blue came first, and then I just worked my way around. Now I know most of the times when you are doing kind of a more traditional panel, it's better if you start in the center and work your way out. I kind of did it a little different, and it did work out for me just because I felt like I had enough smaller images that if I needed to kind of fill in some little spaces, I could. But this is what that looks like. I thought it came out super cute. So now I'm going to bring in my anti-static powder tool, and I'm going to powder this up really well because I did not give this a long time to dry. And I wasn't really too concerned about it, just because if some of the embossing powder that I'm using did get on the panel, it would have just looked cute. And so I took both of those sentiments, the one that says rise with the tide and go with the flow, Mahalo, and I took some Judikins iridescent sparkle embossing powder, and I put that all over. And then I am going to heat set that with my Wagner heat tool, and that is going to be the inside panel for my card. And I think that it came out so super cute. It was very sparkly. I don't usually heat emboss on the inside of my cards, but I think that this came out like very awesome. So I'm going to take that and some of this Tonic Studios cotton paper, and I'm going to mat that onto there. And once I get that matted, and I did that fairly quickly because I did get a tad bit of warping, I'm going to then mat that to this silver sparkle paper that is from Cricut. And these two papers are not very thick, so they didn't weigh the card down a lot in regards to how my cards typically are. They are definitely not as thick. So I think that came out pretty awesome. You can see the glitter and the shine from that sentiment. Now I'm bringing out the pieces to this thanks that I created in Design Space. And the reason that I chose thanks is because Mahalo in Hawaii means gratitude. And so this has an offset, so the shadow for this is going to be in that silver sparkle, and then I'm going to take that green cotton paper that is by Tonic, and it will be linked in the description, and I am going to offset that for the top of the sentiment. And I think that came out really cute. It provides some shine. It's a very nice shadow, and you know I love for my sentiments to be very thick. So now here we are with our panel that is all dry, and I'm going to have to cut this down. It really did hurt my heart to cut this down because it was gorgeous. So, but I've cut it down. and it is going to be the same length as the green panel. However, it will be a 1/4 of an inch shorter, so that will give us a top and bottom panel, and then there will be a 1/4 inch all the way around of the silver panel, and this will create our outside portion of this card. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm using my art glitter glue from Made It to glue everything down. This glue works amazing, and it gives me a little bit of time for wiggle room because, you know, I'm not one of those people who typically gets things straight on the first try. And so we have our top and our front and our inside sentiment. And I'm going to bring out some action wobblers. When I saw these little images, that was the first thing I thought about, was they need to be moving and shaking. I thought that it would be so cute to have these little images moving on the front of the card, and not just one moving element. I want them all to be moving. So what I did was I took each of the action wobblers, and initially I was thinking that I wanted the thanks to be at the bottom, but when I put this middle action wobbler in, I figured out that I could not attach it to him as low as I wanted to, because then it would show the actual action wobbler. So I'm going to move the sentiment up to the top, and I am going to work on doing the action wobbler for the other two, and then we are going to adhere down our thanks in the center of the panel, and we have everyone wobbling, and I just love how they move so freely. I thought that this came out absolutely amazing. And so, of course, you know, we needed another pop of color, and I restrained myself from using additional purple. So I brought out some pink because I thought that that went very well with that green and silver. And I am going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, my final card ends up being a 9x4 inch panel, or just a tad bit shorter maybe, and that is how the card looks. And I thought this came out super sweet. I love all the shimmer. I love the hibiscus in the background. I love this stamp set. I love the fact that I was able to use all of the images, the embossing on the inside. All of it was beautiful. So now I'm going to take a couple of rhinestones that I have in my stash, and I'm going to add one to each of their flowers, one to the center of his ukulele, and then I am going to sprinkle a few of them throughout the card panel. And I think that adds just a little bit of extra sparkle. You know, I say you can never have enough sparkle, you can never have enough bling, you can never have enough shimmer, because I'm just addicted to it, and I wanted to make this little card look amazing because I absolutely loved this card set. You guys let me know in the comments below what you thought when you first saw this card. And here is my baby girl. She wanted to do the final showing for you guys of the card, so I'm kind of showing her how to show you guys what the card looks like, making sure that you guys get a good look on the inside. I know you're probably wondering, like, how does she get 3 arms? It is my baby Kai. She's my little mini YouTube producer, and she loves having her hands in the camera. Okay, you guys, hop along. Thank you so much for coming by. We will talk to you really soon in the next video. Bye-bye.